Hey guys, what up? Total Control 871, chiming in with the latest COVID-19 analysis report. Um, I don't know about you guys, but I am really starting to get a little concerned. Not about the alleged virus, but how the government is reacting and how corporate media is facilitating the authoritarian regime. I've cobbled together some talking points here. This video might be a little longer. It might even be a two-parter. Um, I try not to raw off into the conspiracy abyss, but I'm just simply going to share with you just some empirical observations that I've made, um, and we'll see where it all goes. The first point that I have here is Italy. Italy and even Wuhan, China. For the purported in Italy, it's like alleged to be 500 to 800 people a day. That's a day that they are claiming are dying from coronavirus. Um, where are they? Where are the dead? This is what I'm trying to figure out. If you look at, I'm sorry, I just didn't have it in me tonight to pull up the screen recorder and do a bunch of fancy recordings. So I'm just simply coming to you straightforward and earnest tonight. I mean, I come to you guys earnest every night, but I just don't have it within me. And if you have been paying attention, then you will see for yourself that what I'm about to say, it's very much indeed the truth. Um, we did see people in Wuhan, China, having the authoritarian government crack down on them. We saw people sequestered away in their living apartment complexes. Um, the footage of the hospitals, and to be blunt, the footage of the death wards where the critically ill are basically hooked up and you've done all you can and you patiently wait for them to die. Sounds awful, but according to what's being reported, that's what's happening. Okay? If that is what's happening, where is the footage of it? Now, in Italy, um, the footage that I've seen, it's getting to look a little stock footage-ish. Um, it seems to be of the same hospital ward. I think some of the more fresher, newer footage is of patients lying on the floor on bed pallets or sheets on the floor in corridors. Um, but still, what's been shown on the news does not tally up to 5 to 800 people per day dying. And before you say corporate media wants to respect the privacy of these people who are dying and their family, that doesn't add up either. Just type into your search bar uh, all of the wars, Syrian gassing, the migrants found dead. Corporate media never had a problem showing us dead migrants with their dead children. Corporate media has never had a problem showing us dead Syrian refugees, gassed to death and chemical attacks. And so don't come to me with a bunch of HIPAA type shit, okay? Where are the dead? Um, we've seen like I don't know, like a little 30-second clip of a military caravan carrying out alleged bodies that were dead from the virus. Maybe they are, and maybe they're not. However, the clip, like I said, it's about 30 seconds. You're claiming in Italy hundreds per day are dying, 500 to 800. It should be a constant caravan of these military transport vehicles rolling out. And it seems to be the same angle, meaning the same photographer. Or I understand there's severe social distancing and quarantine in effect over at in Italy. But come on, a caravan rolling out the dead like that many dead, you would think that there would be much more footage, cell phone footage, something. Where are the dead? It's starting to look a little suspicious. You know, people, I want to believe in the virulence. I want to believe in the mortality that's being reported. It's just starting to get difficult. Um, I consider myself to be an even keeled, logical man. Put it like this: the 9/11 attacks, one of a myriad of conspiracies, is that the Pentagon was not attacked with an airliner, but rather a missile. Um, I am neither an expert on missiles or airliners, uh, but basically, without launching off into a whole thing, I haven't seen anything that would lead me to believe that there was a missile attack. However, I will tell you this. I find it peculiar that a movie was made about the two jets that crashed into the tower, and even a movie that crashed, the third jet being crashed into a field in Pennsylvania. Where was the movie for the Pentagon attack? You know, I hashed this over in my mind. This is years ago that I hashing this over in my mind, and one such possibility, well, it's the Pentagon. Maybe, they want to be classified about that thing. Okay, fine, but still, that's never stopped Hollywood from creating movies over classified historical events. Why are they not, you know, you didn't really see any family interviews of the dead airline passengers or the dead people that worked at the Pentagon. Granted, there could be security issues there about survivors saying that my such and such worked at the Pentagon and did this and da da. But still, you would have thought you would have seen more from the airline passenger families, and it was very, very thin, almost non-existent anyway. But still, it's still not enough to lead me to conclude that it wasn't a jet and some sort of a missile. So I say that to just simply try to convey to you that I'm not eager to believe in a conspiracy. I want to trust my government here. They're just not making it very easy. Um, my second talking point here is the way we're being constantly fed the PPE stats. Uh, Gowns, mask, PPE, personal protective equipment. It's tangible. It's something that the everyday person can wrap their head around. You see, I want to know, what about the so called vaccine? We're hearing all this stuff. Billions, hundreds of billions of dollars are being to justify what Governor Como would say is an 80-cent face mask. And I get it, there's price gouging, so he says. Price gouging for the mask and the gowns and latex gloves and just a lot of really simple, cheap shit. Um, They do talk occasionally about a vaccine, but you would think that you would have heard a whole lot more about it, but you really haven't. Um, Probably because the vaccine, it's not the kind of thing that Joe Schmo can really wrap his head around. Also, a vaccine that's being worked on in some laboratory or laboratories around the world, it doesn't really imbue the average Joe or the average Jane with a sense of control. They want to give the average person a sense of control. If you have a mask, you have control. And this isn't correct. Um, some of the earliest reporting on this virus, they told you that a mask will not really stop you from inhaling the virus. It's more about preventing you from transmitting it. Um, but yeah, the PPE, the Como has become the face of this pandemic here in America. Um, he's become the face of this. And I'm trying again not to go off into a conspiracy here. So you have Italy, uh, Como, Fauci. Mamma mia. I'll just leave that little bit there. You come to your own conclusions. Um, what I will say about Como is that every single press conference that he gives, he's pushing this sense of urgency. We need it now. We need it now. Oh my God, we need it now. Again, I take you back to point number one. Can you show us the dead? You know, where's the dead? You know, can you show us some footage of death wards where there should be gymnasiums of people hooked up to ventilators? Come on, where's the dead? Where is this all happening? And don't give me the HIPAA shit, okay? If it's this big of a thing, hey, you can always blur a face. You don't got to give us names, but where are the mass auditoriums, gymnasiums, parking lots with temporary hospital? Where is it at? I want to know. Where is it at? It's what you want us to believe in it, but where is it at? Um, they want you to fixate on the PPE. They want you to wrap your head around that, and they want you to feel like it's giving you a sense of control. The vaccine thing, man, I can't help but feel that Fauci is trying to put himself into a position. Basically, for those of you who remember, the way I spoke about Pastor Bales out in California, he's the pitch man for those stupid ass concentration camp homeless sprung shelters, okay? He's the pitch man. He doesn't own the company, but he's the pitch man for it. He's the go-between lobbyist to Newsom and you know to get people excuse me, to get people to really buy into it. I'll pop in another Halls here. Yeah, the won't be that Halls. um, my cough, it's definitely from scar tissue from opening dehydrates. It's like a scar tissue type thing. As you guys know, I've had it for quite a while. Anyway, uh, Fauci. Fauci wants to be the pitch man for the vaccine. Okay. Fauci's going to be the flying monkey to the Wicked Witch of the West. Okay. And our Wicked Witch would be our medical oligarchy. Okay. So Fauci's going to be the henchman. He's going to be the one, the facilitator, the one that makes it all happen. Moving on. Where is the flu and flu deaths? Has the flu just dropped off the face of the earth? I mean, we're hearing all about this coronavirus, which we're led to believe is something very, very different from the flu. Okay, fine. Then where is the flu? Weren't there any flu deaths this year? I mean, we're hearing all about coronavirus deaths, but what about flu deaths? I mean, I'm sure our government would never, ever take common annual flu deaths, lump it in with COVID-19 deaths, and just simply call it all COVID-19 for the purposes of inflating a death tally. They would never do that, right? So where is the flu? Apparently nobody got sick from the flu in 2019, 2020. It's pretty amazing, huh? I tried to find, like I said, I wasn't going to record in that fashion anyway. Apparently today, some interview today showcased Donald Trump talking about comparing COVID-19 to annual flu deaths. Never thought I'd say this, but Donald Trump has a point. Donald Trump has a point. Do I want to go to my... Yeah, I'll jump down to the boy who cried flu wolf. Okay. It's been shoved down our throats for many, many years. How many people the regular flu kills every year? Get your flu shot. Make sure you get it. Oh my God, somebody's child died, a couple years ago. They'll guaranteed a news spot. Oh my God, and the best way we can prevent this from ever happening, make sure you wash your hands and the flu and get your flu shot. You have to get a flu shot. Have to get a flu shot. And of course, we saw the past 2 years, I'd say, the flu shot, it was promoted definitely by NBC. My God. Do you understand that Big Pharmacy signs NBC's checks? Okay, that they're anchors. NBC. If you work for NBC, your paycheck is signed by Big Pharmacy. Okay? That's not a conspiracy. That's their primary sponsors is Big Pharmacy. But even among NBC, flu shot promotion, it waned. It dwindled away there quite noticeably. If indeed the C-19 is indeed a hoax, if indeed the government, hand in hand with corporate media, pulled off the biggest boy who cried wolf hoax in history, I don't think you understand how fucking dangerous such a thing is. When this thing goes on to prove futile, and I am starting to believe that we're going to end up with a couple of warehouses filled with face masks, gowns, and ventilators completely unused. Andrew, finish your plate before you ask for seconds, because Como is begging incessantly for more, for more, for more. Um, Again, I'll say it again. I'm trying very hard to believe that the government, you know, God forbid there is a massive thing that happens and there is a great need for these ventilators. So I can understand precaution. I can understand the need for that. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. If they're crying wolf and this thing isn't real, God help us when the pandemic is real. Nobody's gonna fucking believe you. And this is all being done for what? It's starting to look like what I said. The biggest transfer of wealth from the US Treasury to the medical oligarchy. Did I not say this? 2 trillion. Okay. Cloaked corporate bailout. That's what it's starting to look like. I'm wondering if powers that be came to the conclusion that another, bailout, 0809 bailout, maybe somebody came to the conclusion that that would not go over well. Again, it has to be something else for that amount of money to transfer from the Treasury. Make it about something else. Make it about a pandemic. What pandemic? How about the flu? It kills people every year. We can always count on that. How about the flu? Yeah, but people are tired of hearing about it and the flu shot doesn't really work and da da da. Well, we'll just put a new label on it. You took the same product and you dressed it up in a new packaging and you sold it as a new product when in fact it really isn't. It's just the same old flu. I don't want to believe that, but I'm having a difficult time not believing that. You're not making this easy. Boy Who Cried Wolf. Yeah, I got a little side note here. When it's finally real, God forbid it should finally happen, people will have no guns. Governor Murphy today was challenged quite aggressively. Well, not quite aggressively, but the reporter put it to him point blank. No pun intended. You suspended the Second Amendment in the state of New Jersey. The applications process for purchasing a firearm has been completely suspended, deemed non-essential. And our reporter made it a point to point out how the Governor Phil Murphy is always flanked by armed state troopers. So, a lot of all politicians, be it left wing or right wing, it does get very hypocritical for the left. You talk all this shit against the Second Amendment, but there you are with your armed security. Oh, so you get to have security. You get to have that kind of peace of mind, but fuck us all to hell, huh? Oh, okay, fuck us all to hell. I'm gonna see if I can wrap this up within our time frame so it doesn't have to be a part 2. Possible unpredictable virus. Okay, I get it because I am trying to give as much credence as I can to this virus. Maybe it is a virus that just simply is the flu. Maybe once it gets into who it gets into, certain people, it does become a maniacal killer while other people not. This virus, I guess it's unpredictable. Again, though, why don't you just simply call it what it is? Where are the dead? Where are the dying and where are the dead? You're claiming that there are warehouses of these people. Where are they? Who remembers vaping? Should we call it a coincidence that what immediately preceded COVID-19 was the great vape killer? Okay? A lot of shit went out. Was vaping the priming agent? Okay? Whether it killed you or didn't kill you, whether it put you in the hospital or didn't put you in the hospital, did it prime of the percentage? Because we understand it's older people who were either hospitalized or killed by it. But of the percentage that were young people, or young and old, were their lungs primed by vaping? People, I'd like to see some data of the COVID-19 people who became symptomatic. Were they ex-smokers that transitioned to vaping, and how long? You know, um, so just like when you go to paint, you put down primer. Was vaping the primer that set the stage for COVID-19? Something that would normally be a I get it, all the regular death, the regular flu kills people, so it's kind of, I don't want to sit there and call it harmless, but the regular flu. Did vaping prime huge swaths of the global population, prime their lungs to become susceptible to COVID-19, to become deadly? Fragile world. Yes, if anything, we're definitely seeing exactly how fragile our world is. I hope America is taking note, that our enemies are taking note. Something like this happening, now would be the time to strike. Um, I don't think I'm giving away some great secret. I'm sure they would know. You have so much of the population, so many people right now, so many armchair quarterbacks who would call us homeless, lazy, self-sabotage, didn't plan well enough, didn't manage your money well enough. And of course, here you are learning firsthand learning firsthand exactly how fragile the American economy is. Very fragile. It didn't take much at all. And of course, the Republicans won the negotiations of the stimulus package. Republicans won, I'm sorry. Schumer can talk whatever the fuck he wants. Republicans won. They won because, what was it, Republicans tossed them some silly ass oversight. We'll just create some oversight committees. Oh, please. In other words, a complaint department. You know, the same kind of complaint thing. I want to talk to the front end manager of this store. I want to file a complaint. Yeah, that's about as effective as your oversight committee will be. So yes, America, corporations are about to get fat bailouts while you get, fucking nothing. Fragile world. So there we go, people. So much more I could say about this stuff. I really want to know about that vaping thing. And of course, that vitamin E that was put in it. I find it very difficult to believe that was just simply done accidentally. There's a lot of questions I would have here. But all right, people, I don't want this to get too long. Hopefully I didn't come off like a conspiracy nut job. I'm just simply pointing out some very valid concerns that I have about this thing. There's a lot of power that's being seized right now by the individual states, and I'm extremely concerned about this. People tend to get drunk on that kind of power, and they don't want to let it go. You could ask Julius Caesar that. All right, Total Control, 871.